system still. So the main thing you want to do is come out from your main line, and you got a manifold. You can have a double splitter, which looks like this. I recommend going brass. This has metal underneath here, so this is all metal within here. It's gonna last a whole lot longer. If you have plastic, they'll end up cracking. This one cracked, and you'll end up having to replace that. So spend the extra buck and go with metal. A 4 is even better than a 2 because obviously it gives you way more working space. From there we go straight into a water filter. This is a KDF carbon filter, RV water filter. You can pick one of these up at fucking Walmart, your Home Depot, wherever they sell RV products. And again, we have a screen inside here, a screen inside here, and then we replace the rubber grommet in there with another screen grommet. So that's going to go into our main hose, and then from this main line it's going to go out and feed to our timer. We'll get to that in just a sec. Okay, so we start from our main line. We came out, you've seen that. We ran the hose out to here, and then here we have another screen filter. Then it goes into our timer. Now this timer is very basic timer. Just has basic times. I like it because it's in 5-minute increments, and then it goes up to quarter-hour increments. Then it has a built-in filter here, a backflow, so your water cannot flow back into your main system or into your house. And then here we have a pressure regulator valve. That way you're not popping off emitters with your pressure on your system. Then it goes into the grommet for the hose that hooks into your line for your 1/2-inch line of your drip line. Now the system consists of mainly a bunch of T's, 1/2-inch line, and some 90s. So the basic setup is right here. So we have basically our main line here coming in off our timer, and then the sub lines that come off 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then from there we have our 3 rows. Like I said, this is row 1. Then it runs into a T. From the T goes up to a 90 right here. Another small piece of 1/2-inch. Connect that 90 to this T, and then another piece of 1/2-inch that went in a circle. Now when you're doing the drip line and you're setting up mainly for these lines and stuff, your main lines, what you want to do is set out your tubing out in the sun, pull it out straight, so that way when you're working with it, it doesn't want to curl up on you. Now I had to buy about 150 feet to do this system. It's a 15 pots. The second batch of tubing I left curled on purpose because that's where I cut my rings from. So you can just cut from there, and it's basically already a curled circle for you, and you just plug it in. So again, from the T up with the 1/2-inch to the 90, more 1/2-inch tubing, and then to another T, 1/2-inch tubing that we kept in the circle curled. Then in there made a hole punch, 4 of them, and we do these one at a time. Don't want to put 4 holes and then try to plug the emitters, because you could be messing with this one, and that one over there is down in the dirt and getting dirt kicked into the hole, and then that will cause a plug later on. So do these one at a time, then poke your hole, plug in your emitter, and then if you need tubing, go ahead. This is just 1/4-inch tubing that I had lying around, and see how that one overshoots the pot. So put on a little bit of tubing here, and you can redirect that where you want it, just like that. Perfect. Okay, and then we'll go down to the end and see how I did an end pot. Okay, so we're down here at an end pot. It's basically the same setup, but instead of ending with a T, we end with a 90 because we have no more pots beyond this point. Could do a T, plug in some extra 1/2 inch line, and then pinch the line. But there's no point in doing that. You'll run into extra leaks you don't want to deal with. So 90, 1/2 inch, up to the 90 T, and the same thing with the drip rings like we discussed earlier. And it's the same thing for every row. So come all the way down. T's, T's, and then a 90 at the end. There you go. That's basically it. Alright, so we basically got everything built. One of the last few things you want to do is install your drip emitters. Reason being is you don't want to go around poking holes into your line and then dirt getting into your system. So that's one of the things I say do last. So all it does is you buy this tool right here, Home Depot. Costs $2. It'll punch a hole in your line. And the drip emitters that we're using are 2 gallon an hour drip emitters. Now what you're gonna do is just find your spot and just puncture the line like that. What I found is easy is if you kind of just wiggle the key around as it's in there, it'll make it a little bit easier for the emitter to go in. Now when you push it in, the emitters are barbed. They're barbed at one end. So you could see here, it's barbed. You want to make sure that hose goes on the other side of that barbed end to lock it in place. Sometimes you'll hear a little click. Right. It's all the way in. Done. Once you have that, you go around and do that evenly all the way around the ring. And then you'll have your custom drip ring. You can go ahead and switch your emitters out to 1 gallon an hour. They go all the way up to 4 gallon an hour that I've seen at Home Depot. Basically everything here was bought at Home Depot. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that. Thanks for watching.